Let me know if you can find me at this location.
You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm josemonkey, and I find people who ask to be found. This location was very difficult to find, and I did end up finding it eventually, but I'm not crazy about the method I ended up using to find it. The video is nearly a minute long, and I'm going to show you the entire thing, but there's not really much to see here. Feel free to speed up the video because I promise you're not going to miss any clues by doing so.
Hello there, Jose Monkey. What do you do when you get a location that's impossible to figure out where it is, even if people leave some hints in the video? Let me know if you can find me at this location. It's a beautiful place. Even make it about 60 seconds long. Give you a shot of our beautiful Skoolie.
So what can we see? This person asks to be found at a location that appears to have a dock, possibly on a lake or pond or maybe a river. The landscape honestly looked to me like it could be many different places, somewhere in New England, maybe somewhere in the Midwest. I really wasn't sure.
Yo, wherever this is, they got some serious bugs. Check out this one.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. Anyway, as this person is walking, we can very briefly see a sign here that warns people that this area is for loading and unloading only and it is not a tie-up area. I'll come back to that. As they walk a bit more, they come to a parking lot.
Oh good, I was afraid there was no parking lot.
And when they get there, they show us this school bus, and it looks like we might have some sort of small shelter over here. I made a note of some of the details that we see in this parking lot. Things like the painted lines on the ground, the parking that is marked for people with disabilities, and also these large rocks that we see over here. I was hoping those would all be details that I would be able to see in the satellite view if I were able to find this place. And that's really about all we see. Now, at first I thought that maybe that school bus might have markings on it that could give us some clues here. But you may have noticed that the person in the video called this a Skoolie. That is a term that is often used for school buses that have been repurposed for private use, often as RVs. And you can see that this bus appears to have had the markings covered up, which I believe is required in many states if you intend to use a school bus for private use. Some states actually require that you paint it a different color. It can't be school bus yellow, but it doesn't look like they've done that here. Anyway, I didn't think the bus was going to be my best clue. That sign, on the other hand, did seem like a good clue. As is often the case with signs like this, there's a reference to the specific law or statute that the sign is enforcing. I couldn't read all of it, but I was able to make out some letters here. MRSA. MRSA stands for Maine Revised Statutes Annotated. The statute that is being referenced here is the one that covers rules for conduct at state boat launching facilities in Maine. Okay, so that told me that this is very likely a public boat launch somewhere in Maine, of which there are hundreds. But I did a bit of digging, and I found a state government website that actually lists every boat launch site in the state of Maine. And get this, they even had a version of that list that you could bring into Google Earth and explore it that way, which was great for somebody like me. But there were still hundreds of locations on that list. Based on what we can see in the video, it looked like you could drive right up to this boat launch, so I figured that meant I could rule out the sites that were carry-in launch sites and only look at the ones that were trailer accessible. And this list was helpfully color-coded to tell me which ones were which. So guys, I just started going through them. I figured those details I pointed out earlier in the parking lot would help me to spot this place from the satellite view. And I spent a very long time looking at many different boat launches on that list. And I found a few that looked like they could be matches, but on closer inspection, none of them was right. I was just not finding this place. Eventually, I decided that maybe this boat launch just wasn't on that list for some reason, so I figured I'd try a different approach. I just started Googling for images using the phrase Maine boat launch, just hoping I'd find something that looked right. And guys, I actually did. I found this one photo that was from a Bureau of Parks and Lands newsletter from October of 2024. And the photo wasn't very high resolution, but as I looked at it, I was almost certain that this was the right place. The view of the trees from the dock looked very much like it matched what we see in the video. That had to be it. Okay, so where was it? I still didn't know. That photo did not have any sort of caption to tell you where it was. And the text that was next to the photo wasn't even talking about that specific location. It was just a general announcement about the end of boating season and the upcoming removal of floats at boat launch sites. I guess somebody just said, give me a photo of a boat launch site, whatever you got. And they were like, okay, here it is. Guys, I even tried checking to see if the file itself could reveal any clues. Like maybe the file name would say the name of the place. But I didn't find anything that helped. The name of the file was boatlaunch_original.jpg. But I was sure that that photo was the right place. At that point, I realized that there was another approach that I could use to get more information here, but I was hesitant to use it. I knew that I could use that image to search for other similar images, or perhaps even the exact same image used on other web pages. I was really hoping that maybe this newsletter had used that same photo multiple times before, and that at least one of them would identify the place in the photograph. But I knew that if I plugged this photo into Google Lens, there was a pretty good chance that it might just tell me exactly where it was. And you guys know that that's not how I roll. but I crossed my fingers and I tried it anyway, hoping it would give me somewhat helpful results, but not too helpful, if you know what I mean. And of course, it just freaking told me the location. The stupid Google Lens result immediately identified this photo I had found as Seboeis Lake. And sure enough, it showed me another image that was definitely the right place. And guys, that was it. You were here at the Seboeis Lake boat launch in Brownville, Maine.
Bro, I thought you said you looked at every boat launch site on the list.
I did.
So how did you miss it then?
Well, I didn't look closely enough, apparently. Like I said, as I was looking at each of these boat launch sites, I would look to see if the satellite view seemed to show me the things I saw in the parking lot. But guys, this place is not an obvious match based on Google's satellite imagery. So I'm pretty sure I probably skipped that one, thinking it wasn't right.
Dang, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, even though the satellite view didn't look right, this was definitely the right place. In addition to the other photos I showed you, here's a user-submitted photo from the parking lot, and that seems to match what we saw as well. Also, while it is the case that Google Maps has a somewhat outdated satellite image of this place, Bing Maps showed me this photo, which appears to be much more recent, and it shows us everything. I feel like if I had seen that image, I definitely would have identified this as the correct spot.
Bro, that is the second time in less than a month that Bing Maps had images that were better than Google Maps.
I know.
Yo, maybe you should start using Bing Maps all the time.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's crazy.
Anyway, I don't love how I eventually found this place, but I found it. So I guess put an asterisk next to this one. Okay, it's time to check which previous location was closest to this one. And this time it's one of the places I found in that special episode I did all about GPSs being visible in your car, and that was in Montville, Maine. That's about 73 miles or 117 kilometers away from this spot. Guys, go check out the map of all the places I found for you so far from the videos you've sent me. And while you're on my site, maybe go check out my store or sign up for my Patreon. And if anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.